So we come to number 4 of the 18 form Qigong sequence. It's called Separating the Clouds. Nice, simple, opening the chest like Qigong motion. But we are adding the 18 form Qigong sequence onto the 8 brocades movements and then another 9 forms. So it's 35 moves in all, 3 forms stuck together. So this is the 4th of the 18 form Qigong sequence, or 12 of the whole 35. Doesn't really matter. I'm going right into the breathing with these. So you can do these segmentally or basically in the order I've put them. In brackets it's 35, and then the move what it is. We're going down not the traditional route. Again, we're going straight down the path of the Pilates breath, the yogic breath, and the hypnotherapy type breath. Just a mixture of breath within the motion. Vinyasa, breath synchronized movement in Sanskrit. But again, all we're going to do is simply zip up pelvic floor, scoop out your abdominals, and take the navel towards the spine. Okay, so as you do that, unlike the traditional way, we zip up pelvic floor, scoop out your abdominals, take your navel towards your spine, and as you do that, you're going to feel the breath going low and deep to these lower lobes of lungs, the intercostals, the ribs, anywhere but the stomach. So as you do that right now, zipping up pelvic floor, scooping out your abdominals, you'll feel that breath coming low and deep to these lower lobes of lungs, the intercostals, the ribs, anywhere but the stomach. Okay, so as you do that right now, feel that breath coming low and deep to them lower lobes of lungs, because there's nowhere else for the breath to go apart from into them lower lobes of lungs. Okay, if you want to really sort of make that known to yourself, you can get these 2 middle fingers touching underneath the breastbones, the palms on the lower lobes of lungs, just underneath what we call the xiphoid process, the sternum, the breastbone, palms on the lower lobes of lungs. And as you zip up pelvic floor and scoop out the abdominals, that's going to help you breathe anywhere but the belly button, help you breathe low and deep into these lower lobes of lungs, so much so the 2 middle fingers slightly part and come back to touch each other. Just adding width to the lungs and length to that out breath. Just keeping them shoulders down, not allowing them to come in. So as you're here, you can just let them hands go, safe in the knowledge that that breath is going into them fish gills, 3D style, into them lower lobes of lungs, as though someone's opening an umbrella inside your rib cage and letting go, or someone's just pushing out from inside your ribs and letting go. That lovely, free, expansive breath. Just coming in organ deep, cell deep, even bone marrow deep, into these lower lobes of lungs, the intercostals, the ribs, anywhere but the stomach. Lovely. It's what we call lateral thoracic breathing. Okay, and that helps us breathe and just use this pelvic floor and the corset muscle, 3 layers deep, which is all segmentally stabilising our spine, what we call the transverse abdominis, in the most efficient manner, helping us breathe anywhere but the belly button, helping us breathe right now into them lower lobes of lungs, the intercostals, the ribs, anywhere but the stomach. Lovely. So that's in short the Pilates breathing, what we call lateral thoracic breathing. Now, let's just go a little bit more down the yogic path. We're going to close the mouth and go in and out through the nose. You breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. It's a smaller filter through the nose, and that helps us lengthen the whole will cycle of the breath. Okay, that helps us lengthen the whole will cycle of the breath because it's a smaller filter through the nose, and that helps us lengthen the breath, the whole will cycle of the breath. That sort of cleansing breath. Okay, in and out through the nose. And that's going to lengthen that whole will cycle of the breath. But you're still zipping up pelvic floor, scooping out the abdominals right now. But just simply, the only difference is we're closing the mouth, for that smaller filter to lengthen the whole will cycle of the breath. Okay, and as that happens right now, you will naturally feel your out breath to want to fall longer than the in breath. So just simply allow that to happen. And as you allow that to happen, that out breath to go longer than the in breath, okay, just consciously take your mind to that out breath now and simply elongate that out breath longer than the in breath. Quadruple it, double it, triple it, whatever you like the out breath, just make it longer than the in breath. And as you do that right now, that'll naturally stimulate what we call the parasympathetic nervous system, which helps with sleep, digestion, rest, relaxation, all the things we don't think about. The parasympathetic nervous system is being benefited by simply elongating that out breath longer than the in breath, encouraging them restful relaxation responses and endless streams of comfort, just coming into the nervous system and helping everything feel even more relaxed than it already is. Lovely. All the things you don't think about, the housekeeping properties of the bodies, are being benefited by elongating the out breath longer than the in breath. Okay, cellular communication, organ function, etc. That natural state of health, wellness and renewal in the body that's constantly happening. Just simply allow that to happen at will. Just allowing them chemical cascades of relaxation to allow the nervous system just to relax even more. Lovely job. So with that, you can stay with that as you're zipping up pelvic floor, scooping out your abdominals, going in and out through the nose as you are right now, but simply elongating the out breath longer than the in breath. Just bringing that sort of hypnotherapy type breath where you elongate the out breath. Now you can do that, or you can simply go a little bit more advanced down that yogic path. You can go to the Ujjayi breath, victorious breath. If you want to do that, you can just narrow the esophagus and make a sign, a whistling, silky sound from the back of the throat, just to add on to that. No matter what breath you're doing, be aware the sound of the breath, the feel of the breath, as it weaves that tapestry of relaxation in every single organ, cell, sinew of the body at will. But otherwise, you want the Ujjayi breath, grip at the esophagus, narrow the esophagus, which I'm going to demonstrate.